Greetings, pilgrims. It's Will from stormthecastle.com, and this is the Sense of Wonder podcast. Thanks for tuning in. And in this episode, how do I say this? Let me give you a simile here. Is it a simile, a metaphor? Picture your life as a stained glass window. And it is composed, the whole totality of your life is composed of a series of beautiful little pieces of colored glass. So you can think of these moments, these times, these days, these incidents in your life as just one individual piece of beautiful glass. And that's what I'm going to tell you about in this episode. One little incident, colorful incident in my life that I think you might find enjoyable. Ties in with Mozart. Ties in with, how do I figure that out, right? Ties in with Mozart. Ties in with Spain. A pilgrimage, and, well, just little incident. I don't know how else to put it. Let's get started. And if you follow my work, you've heard some of this before, but it's important that I tell you a little bit of advanced stuff, just so you get a feel for the story and what I'm trying to say. Not earth-shattering, but I think you might find this wonderful. So I had, not too far back, I had spent 10 weeks backpacking across Europe. It was a wonderful experience in my life, and there are many beautiful little pieces of colored glass in that story. And as part of that, I spent 42 days on a pilgrimage of walking across Spain. 500 miles, the whole thing. It was a wonderful experience. The whole thing was wonderful. And you start in France on the border, not far from Spain on the east, and you work your way west across the whole country. Like I said, 500 miles, 800 kilometers. And you carry a little credential with you, and every day you have to get a stamp somewhere in your little booklet, your little credential booklet. You stop at an inn, or you stop at a restaurant, or you stop at a church, and everywhere they have stamps, so they can, verify your pilgrimage. And when you complete the whole pilgrimage, if you do, an organization will review your booklet and award you a certificate of completion in Latin. A couple of them, actually, signifying you've completed the pilgrimage. And that's for the 500 miles. But there's also a smaller pilgrimage along the same route that's only 100 kilometers. And that's at about 60 miles, I think. And you still end up in the same destination, the same endpoint, which is the cathedral in, what's the name of the city? I'm drawing a blank here. And you end up in the same destination, but a smaller pilgrimage. And you can still get a certificate for that smaller pilgrimage. And in Spain, in summer, the colleges and high schools, I think high schools too, have a summer program where it's all run by the schools with teachers and everything, and the students can do the pilgrimage and get college credit, maybe high school credit, I'm not sure. So for most of the pilgrimage, most of those 42 days, it was pretty solitary. Didn't see a whole lot of other pilgrims. But in those last 5 to 7 days, that 100 kilometers, I saw a lot of kids, a lot of young people. High schoolers and college kids in groups, doing the pilgrimage, which was wonderful. Now to the story. You have all the background now. In the last few days, as we're approaching the destination, you pass through a eucalyptus forest. And it's almost like a dream. The trees are different. The eucalyptus trees are beautiful and different, with the peeling bark, and the smell of eucalyptus is everywhere. There's a rich darkness that isn't too dark, but hard to describe. I guess you have to be there to really get a feel for it. And at my age, and I had already been walking for weeks, every day for weeks, averaging about 12 miles a day. My pace was slow, so, for those last few days, groups of young people were passing me up all the time. A few here, a bunch there, 50 here, sometimes as many as 50, just passing me up, giving me a buen camino, wishing me a good pilgrimage. And this, now we get to the crux of the story. I was walking through the eucalyptus forest, thought I was alone, and I heard the chatter of some young people, young ladies, college students maybe, approaching as they were chatting with each other, getting closer behind me, and then they eventually passed me by. And there were three of them, and they were chatting in Spanish, so I had no idea what they were saying, but there was joy in their voices, and it was just, wonderful. And I thought, I took in a little bit of their joy, and I could feel it myself. And as they passed me by and slowly and quickly disappeared into the forest ahead of me, they broke out in a song, the three of them. And it wasn't just any song. It wasn't a pop song. It was People of Tessaglia by Mozart. It's an aria, the People of Tessaglia. And I was a little taken aback. I thought to myself, wow, these young people, maybe their school is a music school. I was pleasantly surprised that they knew it and they could sing it. And I thought, wow, that's a beautiful thing, the culture of that, Yeah, but I'll tell you a little bit about the aria. Mozart was a really playful guy, and the aria has what is the highest note a soprano's ever reaches in any official composition. Really gets to a high note. I think it's a G, like 6 octaves up. It's really, really high, and it's so high that it's like it when the soprano hits it. And Mozart makes the soprano do it twice in his playful manner, So I love that. I love classical music. I'm not a big fan of opera, but I do love People of Tessaglia. There's something very special about it, and there was something very special about Mozart. So I'm going to play a little bit of that for you to listen to as you travel with me through a eucalyptus forest. Let me just leave you with these, and you'll hear those two notes and during the piece you may be wondering, is that the note? Is that the note? No, that's not the note. When the soprano hits the note, you know it, and has to do it twice. And let me just leave you with this thought. You are a pilgrim. Life is your pilgrimage. Make every step count. Mozart died at age 35. It's a shame. I think he made every step count. The whole thing is a beautiful gift. Never lose that sense of wonder.